Okay, so my first GoPro video here. I'm trying to figure out this thing. Don't know how to zoom while it's recording. Anyway, so my fuel system, the SAE male fitting that came with the dual hanger from Radium was too long. It came all the way to here. This stud, mounting stud for the hanger, was in the way of the female SAE fitting. So I got a shorter AN to 8 ORB fitting right in here, and it was short enough for me to get that 45-degree fitting on there and then hook the 8AN fuel line. So this is an 8AN female fitting to the male 45AN. Now to run it, it was kind of a pain, but not too horrible. You just have to find this like sweet spot in here. You have to kind of, I put like a package plastic bag over the front fitting, and I ran it and was just finagling it and moving it around, and finally got it to go through there and then into here on this side. And you can see it right there. It's the one big line with the fire sleeve. And then in that far corner in there, there's enough room for that line to go down through to the bottom of the car, and you can actually see it. And I'll show you that underneath right here. Let me go on the other side. Don't think I'll need this light for over there underneath the car. I think it's light enough. So once it goes underneath the car, it keeps going blank on me here. I guess that's normal for this. I'm not sure. So once I got it through that space from the top right through here, okay, I'll shine the light on it so you can see even better. Down through that space right in there. Unbolt this thing. Okay. This is a 12mm bolt. It gives it room to go up above that. And it's smooth up on the top of this piece right up in there. Okay, so it won't, rub on the fuel line. Once I did that, I tightened it back. I ran it right here. That's as high up as it can go. And this stuff here is pretty soft, so I think it'll be okay. I got the Radium fuel line brackets, and there's 3 of them in there, but I didn't need them. I just needed 2. So here's one, and I zip tied the line up through here. You just wrap the zip ties, push it up through this hole, wrap it all the way around the line and back, and then there's those, you can see there's the grooves there for the zip ties. I did that. I used one from the Radium kit and one of my own. Doesn't really matter. And then same over here, bolted this one up here, zip tied them up, the one line up. These brackets will hold 2 lines, but I only needed 1 because I'm using the factory feed line as the return line, and that's already hooked up, which is nice. So this bolt here, 1, 2, 3rd hole, go over to that hole by this big elongated hole here, and bolt it to there. Best place I could figure to put my fuel filter was right up in here. That's about as high as it can go. I'm gonna put some kind of silicone goo over top of these just to make sure it doesn't get rusted and corroded. Put my Aeromotive 8AN male, 8AN male. Of course, this is an 8AN female off my fuel line. Another 8AN female to the male fitting on the filter. This one I just kept with the braided. I didn't do the fire sleeve. It's going to be pretty far away from the exhaust, up here close to this part of the frame. And I ran it the radium bracket kit includes this, and you put it right in here, right next to the front, or I'm sorry, the rear the rear part of the cross member for the transmission, right there. And then I ran it up, and I ran the line between this little plastic hold down for this felt-like material and over here on that side. That way it's, you know, kind of tucked in there. And what I'm going to do is there's a plastic hold down up here. You can see it right there. I'm going to take that out and find one of those push clips that go in there, and it'll snap around the fuel line and it'll secure it right there. So that'll work. And then up top, I ran it. I ran the line underneath that plastic. It's like it feels like a plastic line. I ran it under there, and then just up through here, over top of my brake master cylinder brace. And there it is. My fuel pressure regulator bracket is going to be right around here somewhere. And if I need to pull this back, you know, to hook it to it, I'll adjust it all. I set my mocked up brackets, one for the fuel pressure regulator, one for the flex fuel module, which is going to go over here. The way it's supposed to mount, the way IBR says to mount it, this terminal interferes. So I made a bracket that's going to come up here. I can mount the module here, run the fuel line to the regulator and stuff like that. I'll show you that when I get that bracket and I get the regulator bolted in. So that's my feed line, guys. Now, for the return line, like I was saying when I was under the car, I'm using the factory feed line right here. And I put a fitting on there with a 6AN male. So like the return line is going to be like, I don't know, 6 or so inches long, and that's it. It'll come from the back side of the regulator to right there, and that's my return line. Of course, this is the evap line that connects over to the evap solenoid once the engine's in there. And there you go. Pretty simple. I'll have the feed line coming out of the regulator going to the hard line on the high pressure fuel pump. And then there's another port on the fuel pressure regulator. I got the dual port. And the other one's going to go to the fuel rails on the port injection for the BRZ manifold. And I'm using the factory BRZ fuel rails. And you guys will see all that down the road here. So there's my feed line, guys. Not too difficult. Just have to be patient. The hardest part was getting that line through the one hole on the passenger side to the other hole on the driver's side, and then getting it through that space. But you just have to mess with it, and you'll find that space in there to push it through. So there you go, guys. Making progress. I'm going to start on my DC CD install now, and I'll make a video of that too.